Hey guys, my name is Hearty and welcome to more in this Hearty Let's Play of Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. We continue our investigation into both Angie's death and now Tanko's, continuing with the similarities that in Chapter 3, 2 people die, and perhaps there's one culprit, but it seems with what Monokuma said in the last video about Tanko's death being a waste of a kill and a waste of a death, entertaining the possibility that there might be actually 2 culprits this time, but let's see, let's look into the case. So, let's investigate Tanko's body. Alright, what can I look at in here? There's blood on the cage. Okay, so she was stabbed in the back of the neck like Angie, but... Let's look at the cage, because where did the blade come from? This is the cage. Did it come from above or below? This is the cage used for the seance. It looks to be around 3 feet high and 5 feet wide. It's a pretty large iron cage. Big enough for a person to fit inside. During the seance, Kokichi and I covered Tanko with the cage. We were supposed to remove it as well. But it was Himiko who rushed in and removed the cage first.
Hey.
Hey, look at this.
Is this...
A blood stain on the bottom of the cage. Probably Tanko's blood, yeah?
That's true.
Yes, I imagine so. The splatter must have been what made... Okay, if the splatter went up, then that means she got stabbed from below, possibly? Or... No, it could... Yeah, it could splatter upwards even if it was stabbed down, right? Yes, I imagine so. The splatter must have been what made when she was killed. Which means Tanko was killed while she was inside the cage. I think you're right. Tanko went under the cage before the seance. But when the cage was lifted after the seance, she was already dead.
Then...
If she was stabbed right when the cage was lifted, that would explain this blood stain, right?
Huh?
Perhaps she wasn't killed during the seance, but the exact moment the cage was lifted. That is a possibility. I was thinking she died at the thunk when we heard that thunk while we were singing the Caged Child song, but I guess that's a possibility too. Alright, the rock, marker stone. There's a rock next to Tanko's body. This must be... Please rest your forehead upon the stone marker I've placed here. It's just a stone I brought from the courtyard. Are you sure it will work? Certainly. It is immediately needed as a marker for the forehead to rest upon. Like this? Tanko had her forehead on the this rock hunched over. She had to make herself small to fit inside the cage. Marker stone. The marker stone coincides with the ritual, right? I think they mentioned that you need to rest your head on the stone in the Kyo's book. Okay. Hole in the corner. Let's check that out. There's a small opening in the corner of the room. This doesn't look big enough for a person to get through, but still. Oh, there's a space under here too. Oh, hold on. I can see something below. It looks like something dropped down there. What? Something dropped down there?
Got a minute?
After we checked everywhere else, why don't we go under the floor and see for ourselves? Alright, let's do it. Okay. Hole in the corner. Alright. Let's see. I guess we can investigate Kibo or something? Alright, let's look at Tanko's body. Tanko's dead body. She took her last breath crouched over like this. According to Monokuma, her only injury is a stab wound to her neck. This wound was fatal. This must have caused instant death. I didn't hear her scream during the seance. Oh, wait. Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over. Would Tanko really keep her mouth shut despite the pain?
Nope.
Her death might have not been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out. Oh, that's horrible. Oh no. That's true, that's really horrible.
Huh?
What do you mean?
What's the point?
You were concerned about that, right?
Okay.
the wounded state, the victim is too shocked to do anything except die. So she didn't. That's sad. She had a chance to call out for help. That makes it worse in my mind for some reason.
That's obvious.
Of course, quick deaths are my specialty. Well then, that makes sense.
Way.
You're really getting used to your murderous nature, huh, Maki? The real question is, what was she killed with? I don't see a murder weapon around. It's probably underneath the floorboards. You're right, I don't see an obvious murder weapon. That could be a clue. Enko's last moments has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. Crooked floorboard. Oh, this floorboard is loose. And it's right under Tenko.
Why?
Why is the floorboard
If
loose?
I remember correctly,
It wasn't like this before. It must have come loose during
Why?
the seance. Why would it come loose during the
But-
seance? The floorboard this thick and heavy wouldn't have come loose easily. Then someone must have loosened it on purpose. Someone who knew we were gonna do the cage trial, or someone who could predict we were going to do the cage trial, seance. Okay. Can you check the pool of blood? That's what stumped me last time. But okay, I guess not. Is there anything? Tenko's body. Look at the floorboard. I checked the cage, checked the hole. They just doubly sure because I don't want like that last video where I spent forever trying to figure out that I needed to investigate Angie's blood pool. Wait. Cage, right, Tenko's body. Alright, I think that's everything. Right. Ruined magic circle. It's a magic circle Kyo drew in the floor. Well, at least it was.
dear.
It's been completely stomped over. I suppose it wasn't unavoidable.
Well,
Was this drawn with salt? Whenever I perform a seance, I always use salt.
What?
Are you feeling alright? You sound ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I have performed many successful seances. Why, I even had spirits enter my body.
right already.
Shut up. I don't want to hear about your stupid illusions. Maki really doesn't beat around the bush. It's kind of refreshing, actually. In any case, with all these footprints, I can't make out the original circle.
what?
We'll find out in Kyo's lab. It should be written in the Cage Dog Village document.
Hey,
Isn't that right, Kyo? He seems depressed. I suppose it makes sense. We can look at the candles? Candle. Candles hung on the wall. Only source of light in this room. There are no windows in this room, so without the candles, it would be pitch black. But how did the culprit kill Tenko in complete darkness? Probably they were hiding. Had already set up beforehand. They were in the room, or they had set up the death to happen while things were happening. So I don't know. Yeah, the evil magic circle. Let's look at the white cloth. It's a white sheet we use for the seance. This was placed on top of the cage. Kyo was the one who removed it.
is this?
This cloth is pretty thick. It's similar to a window curtain, but it's completely opaque, and on the back, there's a blood stain on it right around the middle sheet.
But
There's no hole in the fabric, so it came from underneath. It had to have come from underneath then. Which means Tenko wasn't stabbed through this cloth. She was stabbed while underneath the cloth. Yeah, getting very similar vibes to Execution, well, Death 1 of Danganronpa 2. I always like struggle with which terms to use, but yeah, the death of Death 1 of Danganronpa 2 pretty much happened this exact same way. At least, well, with somebody hiding underneath the floorboards and stabbing somebody up from underneath. Dog statue. That is interesting. Wow, that is interesting. That the golden sword used in the first death of Danganronpa 1 and then the method of death in Danganronpa 2 are both used in this chapter. I wonder, what's the significance of that, I wonder? Or is it just the writers messing around a bit? It's the wooden dog statue used in the seance. I can't believe it's called the cage, the dog god. During the seance, this wooden statue was on top of the cage. It took 4 of us to remove it. The wooden statue is pretty
If
heavy.
I remember correctly.
Gil said it was about 175 pounds. That's about the weight of 2 girls. What do you know about girls? Have you ever touched a woman besides your mother? Okay, no need to be friggin' harsh. Trying to cut me deep. What?
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding anyway.
Is this...
If this heavy thing was on top of the cage, then Tanker wouldn't have been able to get out easily.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right about that. Didn't sound like you were kidding either. You cut me deep, Maki, and it's not because you're an assassin and you use blades. Oh gosh. Alright, what else can we look at in here before we start talking to people itself? Ruined Magic Circle. We looked at the hole in the corner. I guess all that's left is people now, right? Let me just make sure. Alright, let's start talking to people. Well, look at this lit candle just in case. Yeah, alright, cool. Just making sure. Okay. It's me. I said things that made Tanko look suspicious, and now this. I'm sorry, Tanko.
Stop it.
Cry later. Huh?
Because...
Crying won't bring Tanko back, and if we don't investigate thoroughly, we'll die
Okay.
too. I need to find the truth and pin down the culprit. For Tanko, for all of us.
I guess...
You're right. Tanko wouldn't want us to figure it out, so she had no regrets. That would be the best way to apologize. Okay, let's go talk to Himiko. How are you holding up?
Hey!
Himiko! Hey, Himiko! Be strong, Himiko! Gunta, if you shake Himiko that much, she's going to break. But she's not talking. It's not like Himiko's not even here. It's like Himiko's not even here.
I thought...
She must have been really shocked over Tango. Let's leave her be for now. Okay. Yeah. First of her devout, like, she relied on Angie for strength. Like, she couldn't deal with this situation anymore, and she relied with Angie and her religion as a source of, like, you know, secureness. And now she's gone, and the one person who, like, overtly was, like, cared about you, was trying to protect you, she's gone now too, you know? Even though she was, like, bugging her, like, she really cared about her, so now she's gone. Alright, Gunta.
Why?
First Angie, then
How
Tanko.
can this be?
Gunta's so ashamed. Why Gunta no could protect friends? Kyo?
That cannot be.
Why? Why did
I
this?
knew it.
Yo, I know the murder was
But
pretty
of
shocking.
course.
Of course, I am shocked about that as well, but why did the seance fail? We performed all the steps flawlessly. Seems more concerned by than the murder.
Yes.
Oh, if we record the caged child and summon Tango's spirit this time.
Stupid.
Cut the crap, just tell me what happened during the seance. Both you and Suichi were present, right? Did she get killed during the
I
seance?
see, yes.
True, it may be best to move past what happened to know why the seance
Is that
failed.
so?
Whatever, just hurry up. At the time, in order to begin the seance, we had Tenko, the spirit medium, position herself as a turtle within the magic circle, so her head touched the marker stone. Then Suichi and Kokichi placed the cage over Tenko. And after that, I placed the white cloth over the cage. Then all 4 of us placed the wooden statue of the dog god on top of the cage. Afterwards, we stood in the 4 corners of the room. Kokichi and Suichi blew out the candles.
Yes.
Finally, we all sang the caged child song. The seance should have been complete, but... Now that you mention it, I remember hearing a strange sound during the song. Yep, the thunk. This is a mystery as well. I thought someone may have tripped, perhaps. It was a pretty loud sound for someone tripping. Perhaps Yos knows
What do you
something.
mean?
And then what
Yes.
happened? Ah, we called out to her, but no reply came. I had Suichi and Kokichi relight the candles. And then we removed all the items from within the magic circle in the opposite order. First, all four of us removed the dog god statue. Next, I took off the white cloth, and then... Himiko ran over to the cage, and the moment she lifted it... Then it sounds like Tenko was definitely killed during the seance. But it would not be difficult in such darkness. Besides, she was inside the cage, yes. Then when was she killed?
Well, that's...
Well, yes, that is a problem.
I see, yes.
There is another problem. And that is, why ever did the seance fail? I simply cannot figure it out.
Perhaps.
Maybe someone moved from their corner. Did someone else sneak in here? Obviously, since the seance was clearly a sham. Maki never was one to pull her punches. Sound during the seance. I mean, I figured it didn't work. If it was going to work, it didn't work because she died during it. So, if the medium is dead, how could the spirit talk, right? That's what I'm figuring. I really wish we could lift her body and look on the floor, look at the floorboard she's resting on to see if there's a knife wound or something through the wood, because then that will lift a lot of my suspicions about certain things. Maki, we finished investigating up here. Perhaps we should check under the floor? Yeah. It seems pretty dark down there. What should we use for a light? Let's bring a candle. With Keeble's light from up here, that should be fine. Then I'll go get a candle. Remove that floorboard so we can go down. Okay, got it. I pulled off some of the floorboards near the hole and took the candle from Maki. Then we carefully made our way through the hole and under the floor. This is a lot more spacious than I thought. You can move pretty easily on all fours. Yep. Okay. Let's look around for clues. It looks pretty stupid if we found no clues after crawling around this dusty place. Yeah. Okay. Blood dripping from the gaps in the floorboards. Fresh blood. This is definitely Tenko's. Dried blood. There's a blood stain on the ground underneath the loose floorboard. But that's pretty far from where Tenko's blood is dripping now, and it's dried. It's under the same floorboard, just at different ends. Why is there blood here? Hey, the back of the floorboard has blood on it too. You're right, there's a little bit of blood on the underside of the floorboard. Did Tenko's blood splatter here when she got killed? I wonder, I can't really be sure of that. But the blood stains here are completely dry. There must be some reason these particular stains are dry. Probably has to deal with Angie, but how does that work? And the wound from her forehead, perhaps? Loose floorboard. Okay. Oh look, the part of the crosspiece that supports the floorboard is cut off.
That's true.
It's near the loose floorboard, and the portion missing is about the same width too. But from what I see of it,
That's true.
it wasn't broken off naturally. This was cut by someone. There should be saws in the warehouse, so they could have used that. The question is why. Another crosspiece. Oh, wrong voice. Another crosspiece is supporting the floorboard, so it might not fall if this portion was missing. So what purpose did this serve? The floorboard underneath Tenko's body is loose, and the crosspiece supporting it has been cut. If the culprit did all this, then why? Oh, there's the weapon. Bloody sickle. There's a sickle here, and there's blood all over it. The blood on the sickle is fresh. This is it. This is a murder weapon.
Is this?
This came from my research lab. It did. The sickle can be used as to assassinate a target. You've been thrown without losing any lethality, and you can hide it under your clothes
Well.
too. If she was attacked with this, she wouldn't stand a chance. The blade is about 6 inches.
That's right.
And since Tenko was in the cage, she wouldn't have been able to defend
But-
herself. But even if this is our murder weapon, how did the culprit attack Tenko in the cage? The blade couldn't fit through the gaps in the cage, but could it the blade could fit through the gaps in the cage, but could it reach her neck?
That's true.
The cage is 3 feet high. If you were to stab into it with a 6-inch blade, well, it would depend on Tenko's posture, but I don't think that's impossible. And her posture is the
Hey.
question. Hey, if the weapon is down there, the culprit must have thrown it away,
That's
right?
true.
Perhaps after killing Tenko, the culprit threw the sickle under the floor in the dark. Or they could have been under the floor the entire time. Either of those is possible. Ah, somebody came in from one of the other rooms. Okay, that's how they got underneath here. Alright. So, dried blood. Somebody was wounded here before Tenko, and I'm guessing it's Angie because the forehead wound is dried also. Alright. I'll probably make more sense to me later. Some of the wood has corroded and is broken off, so you can see into the next room.
Hey,
This is the wall of the empty room, right? Looks like there's a wood along the wall. This part has rotted away. It looks like a natural rot. This hole wasn't made intentionally. But I can get into the next room through
that's
here.
true.
If I remember correctly, the room next door is also empty, right? Then the culprit could have gone from room to room by moving under here instead of using the
No.
hallway. True, but it would have been difficult moving around under the floor. We did alright because we had light. Without that, it'd be pitch black. That must have made it, that might make it impossible to move around in here. Then they could have used the light like we're doing
Well.
right now. True, but we would have seen it. We would have seen a source of light from under the floorboards. They use a light to move around under the floor. Is that possible? I don't think so. We would have seen. I think we would have seen the light. I think we've finished investigating here.
Is that alright?
So, if that's the case, then somebody did this blind? Sort of? Kinda? Mucky, you wanna head back up? Glad you asked. I was starting to get fed up with all this dust. After Mucky and I crawled out from under the floor, we put the floorboards back and returned to our investigation.
By the way,
We've only been investigating this room. You sure that's wise? What do you mean?
because
If Angie and Tenko have different killers, then the blacken we need to
You're
vote for
right.
is the culprit for the first murder, the culprit who killed Angie. That's what Monokuma
Then-
said. So instead of investigating Tenko's death, shouldn't we investigate Angie's?
Okay,
Yes, of course.
but
But this is bigger than the killing game. For the sake of the two who died, I need to reveal the truth of both their deaths. Well, I understand why you feel that way, but if you plan on investigating the other crime scene again, we should probably hurry. When I came into the hallway, a scene more surprising than I could ever imagine unfolded.
It's a lie!
Yeah, this is another one. This is the second spoiler I saw that Kokichi pretended his death. I mean, faked his death. That's why you got no reaction out of me. Did I surprise you? Were you gonna scream and cry in terror? What are you doing?
oh,
But this is a good clue because we're gonna ask him where he got that fake blood. Oh, I'm sorry. I just a little lightheaded from the blood loss. Yeah, this is real
Why?
blood. Oh. Okay, so what are you doing? I got curious about something, so I decided to search the empty room next door. Then suddenly, I stepped through the floorboards.
huh?
You stepped through a floorboard.
so mean.
Jeez, that got me good. Because of this, I tripped and fell pretty hard.
Got a minute?
If you're going to lose consciousness, do it after you tell us everything.
Ah,
Oh, sorry, my bad. I guess there was no crosspiece supporting that floorboard, so I kind of stepped through. What bad luck. What bad luck. The crosspiece was gone. Does that mean... Oh, that's all we get?
Confidence. Dreams. That's what the Killing Game is all about. Killing Game fans, hold your head high and watch with your own two eyes. Baseball, soccer, mobile games. They're all nothing compared to the Killing Game. The Killing Game just can't be beat. Behold, students, the entrance to the trial grounds.
I get... Wow! That's... Oh my god. Oh, shit. Holy shit. Okay, I guess we're doing this. Oh man, it's cause of you guys. I didn't have enough time to check something. What were you trying to check?
See?
I went to re-research the seance again, so I brought this document with me. But unfortunately, I couldn't find a clue, anything new that could be used as a clue. Gil perfectly reenacted the seance as what was written in the document. He drew his magic circle the same exact way as the picture. Not only that, he used the same exact tools too. Nothing suspicious about this whole thing. Well, I wanted to check the finer details, but I'll tell you about it later. At the class trial, so see ya there. Oof. The Kokichi left, the blood loss clearly affecting his footing a bit. So, perhaps Angie walked into the room, felt like Kokichi did, by accident, like she wasn't meant to do that. She also fell through the floorboard, which would explain the dry blood. That's the wound on her forehead, that's why it's dry. And then she was killed later in her lab? Possibly. Because that would explain the dry blood. She was there at some point in the night for whatever reason. Let's go too. Damn, okay, wow, shoot, okay, let's do this. Is Maki nervous? I see, so even she gets nervous sometimes. What are you staring at? Do you want to die? Wow, I can't believe we're getting into the trial. Like I don't know. I thought it would take another video. At least another half of a video before we enter the trial, but here we freaking go. Shit. Hope you guys are strapped in, because this is gonna be one long video. Here we go. Flash trial time, baby. This is gonna be a long one. Oh boy. Hopefully I don't mess up in this one as much as I did the last trial. It would appear we all have gathered, but it seems there are less and less of us. Yeah, we're about to be one more less too. One more less? Was that correct? Whatever. Less friends means that it's much harder to solve mystery. Well, don't worry. I'm sure. Oh, you cleaned up that blood pretty well. Sure, you've gotten a pretty little smart by now, Gunta. Yeah, Gunta do his best to help. I'd want to graduate from super idiot level to at least Kaido idiot level. What's that supposed to mean?
Are you okay?
More importantly, are you okay, Kaido? Yeah, I'm feeling better now. But wow, Makiro sure does pack a punch. It's your fault. You don't need to worry about our dwindling numbers. Only dipshits have died so far. I know it's a tall order, but try to use your brains this time so I don't have to use mine.
Booyah!
These golden brain cells of mine are a gift to the entire world. Then you better start saving them because you don't have much. It's as though every time you open your mouth, you become less likable.
Rest in peace.
Atua, please lend us your power. It may be difficult for us to rely on Atua, considering what happened to Angie, who Atua loved most of all. She shouldn't have relied on Atua in the first place. But seriously, it's kind of funny seeing a robot believe in God, especially Atua.
I also.
So what? Robots can believe in God.
Indeed.
Actually, before I even met Angie, I had a similar experience. Hearing voices, I mean. You might call it an inner voice. It tells me that what to do whenever I'm in trouble. How long are you going to say that for? Tua and Ghost don't matter right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, the trial this time is going to be rough. We got caught in Monokuma's trap. This trap. He probably made the 4th floor so scary on purpose to prevent me from investigating.
Right already.
No, he didn't. Yeah, there's no way.
Hey, so
Suichi, say something. Save it, man. What should I say? Alright. Let's do this, shit. Let me set up, let me get comfortable in my seat, because I'm gonna be here for a bit. As usual, we walk towards the elevator in silence. As soon as we remaining survivors step aboard, Angie was killed with the gold leaf sword, and Tenko was killed with the sickle. Both in the neck, right? We descended. Perhaps because there were fewer of us, the elevator seemed to move faster, and we fell faster and faster downward into the black. Well, the elevator stopped, and just like always, the doors parted slowly. The light that shines on us from the other side, the bright light of our future. Or is it?
Uh-oh.
Boy, they look really depressed. Must be because there's even less participants now. Don't say they look depressed, you'll make Monodam sad. Monodam is totally gonna be the one that dies at the end of this trial. I would be so surprised if he's not the one. I'd be very shocked. As much as I love to keep hearing this adorable back and forth,
Now then,
let's hurry up and get this started. At least the class trial will begin. I hope you enjoy it to your heart's content. The 3rd class trial was about to begin. And here we go. Play that music. Angie Yonaga, the ultimate artist. She created the Ultimate Academy Student Council to try to prevent the killing game. Then Teiko Shira, the ultimate Aikido master. She hated men, but I knew that she hated this terrible killing game even more. The 2 who were killed were both trying to stop the killing. And who was the one who killed them? Was it one person? 2 different people? We need to pin that down in this class trial. In order to live, we have to find the truth. And I will fight for it. I will fight for the truth and lies in this class trial. Alright. Am I gonna buy any skills? Yeah, let me take a look at the skills real quick. Check to see if there's anything I want to pick up. I decided to get charisma just so I can decrease the amount of influence I get back for right answers. Because, yeah, I tend to have problems with that a bit. So, let's do this. Begin the class trial. Here we go.
Now then, let's begin with the basic explanation of the class trial. During the trial, you'll present your arguments for who the culprit is, and vote for who done it. Vote correctly, and only the blackened will be punished. But if I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will graduate from this academy.
Because I don't think it's possible that this game will, although I will leave open the idea that maybe it will surprise me. I don't think it's possible that the game will continue with, like, there are 2 culprits and the one culprit who killed Tenko gets to live with us. Like, we get to have, like, we live with a killer, like somebody who killed somebody else. We get the person who get Angie and whatever, I guess, but so either one person did both murders in my head, or Tenko murdered Angie and then somebody else murdered Tenko. But that's unlikely, because then that would mean that that person who killed Tenko would live with us after this. We'll have to see.
Also,
I'm very
refusing
intrigued
to
with this
vote
one.
will result in your death. So you better vote for someone. Now, smiles, everyone!
All right.
It's showtime! Let's get this crazy awesome trial underway!
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I'm gonna be much help this time. Because of Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide his self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
Shut up! I don't need to hear some comedy act from you two weirdos.
Who did it? Who killed Angie and Tenko?
Do not let your emotions hasten your judgment. There may be two killers.
So, our other culprit might not be one of us here.
Yep.
What do you mean?
Yep.
Transfer student.
Oh, that's what she's talking about.
Maybe
Gotcha.
a resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
Stop it! Stop making stuff up!
Say something, Shuichi. It'll be a mess if this keeps going on.
Okay. Is it even possible for the revived corpse to be the culprit? Well, in the interest of being thorough, I should clear things up here. Alright, here we go.
This
Probably
crime
the
was
effigy saying
committed by
upside
the
down.
recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates.
No!
So, ritual did work?
I'm
Who
gonna.
was
Oh,
resurrected?
whoops. Okay, I'm guessing that's it.
Angie did say she was gonna bring Rantaro back. Yes. Rantaro was resurrected. The culprit is the late Rantaro Amami!
Please! Stop it!
Okay, alright. Oh, I didn't read what Suichi said, but I'm pretty sure I know what this one is. Okay, yeah.
Did work?
Get out my way. Oh, no, it's not that. Okay.
I was wrong!
Starting off already, huh? Starting off with a
This crime
wrong.
was
Okay,
committed by the recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of...
let's see. A book Monokuma prepares a motive. Let's maybe review some. Oh, God. Oh.
our classmates!
No!
So, ritual did work?
There we go. Because the Necromon had to be Necronomicon had to be burned and had to be turned to ashes, so that's why. Obviously.
I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded.
I was like, yeah, I know this one. This one's easy. Immediately wrong.
According to the Necronomicon,
I gotta stop
Monokuma
acting like
shows
I'm smart with these class trials, because I have been proven not to be with both of them so far. Like,
you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual.
with both the first class trial and the second class trial, I both made blunders that were like, wow, dude, seriously, you didn't see that? After preparing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ashes. Use caution, be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning. Sprinkle the ashes on the effigy and repeat the name of the deceased 3 times. Okay, cool.
If Angie's ritual had succeeded, the book would have been gone.
Yeah.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Then, going to think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Well, duh. There's no way a dead person could resurrect.
Now hold on a second! I can't let that comment stand!
Mm-hmm.
Sure, everybody knows that you can't bring the dead back to life. But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the Necronomicon.
So, it's easy at the Ultimate Academy as long as you have the Necronomicon. Because I would say this is evidence that kind of supports my idea that we're still in a simulation, but I don't know.
What are you talking about? There's no way that's possible.
Because this is, if we were in a fake reality, then yeah, it would be easy, in quotation marks, to bring somebody back to life.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
I don't see how, because I was starting to think, because of Gunta's comment about the stars not looking familiar at all, I was thinking that maybe we were on another planet or something, but why would being on another planet make it possible for somebody to come back to life?
Daddy said so he can't be wrong. Raising the dead is totally possible.
Man, I can't believe you guys wasted such a perfectly good motive. You should have let me use it to bring Monodum back to life.
He's still here, buddy. He won't be for long, but...
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste a resurrection on Monodum's corpse.
You're on the threshold of an amazing adventure.
He's a murderous psychopath.
Oh? So resurrecting the dead was actually possible this whole time?
According to Monokuma, it is, because of where we are and the item itself, apparently.
There's no way it's possible!
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is trying to confuse us.
Nope, he's telling the truth, but that's for the overarching mystery, not the mystery of this class trial.
Let's hurry up and find out who the Blackened is.
Yeah.
If our transfer student isn't the culprit, then blame falls to one of us.
I'm still thinking about what Miyu said, how the effigies could be a distraction, but I still can't figure out what the distraction, if like that comment was made as a wink wink nod nod kind of thing, and not like just useless drivel. What is it distracting us from?
Who did it? Step aside, Half Pint. I'll handle this.
Okay, Miyu,
I don't know
what you
about
gonna offer?
Tenko, but I'm pretty fucking sure Kyo murdered Angie.
Oh, so that's so.
Why?
Don't play dumb with me, creep show. I already know what happened.
Okay. I have no idea where she's going with this. Oh, because the katana came from his lab.
Used a katana
Right.
to kill Angie. And it was found in Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm. You went to the classroom, broke in,
Okay, not that.
and murdered the fuck out of Angie!
Oh, I didn't hit it. That's
Yeah,
it.
I'm a fucking genius!
It's Tsurugi's account, right? Because she wouldn't. The only people who get Angie, you can't break in because wait. Art Lab's front door, probably that. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Care about some katana.
Yes, you do.
Just admit
That's
it, you
technically a
shit-eating
lie,
worm.
but whatever. I don't, but that's not
Went to
important.
the classroom.
Damn it, it's blocking. Oh wait. Can I look at the? Oh damn it, I didn't read what she said. Murder her just like that.
The
How am I
culprit
wrong?
used a katana.
Oh, okay, Angie would have still let him into her lab. Okay, cool. So it's Sumiki's account then.
I was
All right.
wrong.
Gotcha. Alright. My bad.
The culprit-
If I had read that the first time, I would have caught it. Okay. I feel like it could have been both of those, but whatever. I see what the logic is. Okay, Angie, let me make sure. Angie looks over the ultimate lab, already working on the ritual. She will not unlock the door unless someone from the student
Used a
council.
katana to
Gotcha.
kill Angie.
There we go. Yeah.
wrong.
Okay. I see why the logic of that one messed me up.
No, Kyo would not have been able to enter Angie's lab. Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah. Before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
And Kyo is not a member. She wouldn't have opened the door for him.
Kyo couldn't have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
So whoever killed Angie must have been one of the student council members, yeah?
Most likely.
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer. Can't believe you actually got it.
Yeah, there goes one more of your golden brain cells, you.
Oh, how clever.
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
The remaining student council members are Gonta, Kibo, Tsumugi, and Himiko.
Oh, what? It's a halo and like angel wings on her portrait. Okay.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie.
Tanko just has a cross on her. Okay.
I trust their friendship.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie.
You guys do too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Can we trust their friendship so readily?
Obviously. Let's believe in them.
That trims our list of suspects down to 3. Gonta, Tsumugi, and Kibo.
Yep. The culprit is one of those 3 people.
You mean one of those 2 people? Because a robot ain't people, Jack!
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't these accusations just a tad too hasty?
Especially after our recent dalliations. No, is that dalliations a word? Oh, god damn it. I'm just throwing shit out there. Doesn't matter.
What else? The culprit should confess already. Gonta, Keyboy, or Tsumugi? Well...
No, not Gonta. Gonta would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's a gentleman. You shouldn't suspect either of us.
Hey, stick up for me too.
Gonta definitely not hurt anyone. Torture Gonta if you don't believe.
Torture might be a bit too far, but Gonta and I aren't the culprits.
And I'm not the culprit either. Jeez.
Alright, mass panic debate.
I'm not the culprit.
I'm not the culprit.
Okay. Here we go. Alright. Probably best if I listen to what they're saying first
Must
and then...
consider other possibilities. Surely there must be suspects outside the student council.
Student council.
That's utterly impossible.
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone could open
culprit.
that door.
Why?
Only student council members had access.
Look, I don't know who the
I
culprit
didn't know
is,
robots told such boring lies.
but it's definitely not me.
Is that a robophobic remark?
Okay. There were several suspicious statements, but one is obviously inconsistent. I listen carefully, sort the statements in my head, and find the answer. I think it's what
Must
Kokichi
consider other
said.
possibilities.
There we go. Okay, that was right. I feel like there was a place for a lie there, but I'm not sure. To use a back room.
It wasn't
back way
just student
thing.
council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi? Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab, right?
Come on, dude. You know
I
where we're
was
going with
referring to
this.
Kyo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have. Because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
I don't think you did it because you're a slimy little bastard. Because it's going to survive this whole game, so... Yeah, open says me.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember, huh?
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember. Yeah, I did it. I killed Angie.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham! Killed Angie. The culprit was me, all along.
What?
Yeah, not buying it for a second,
What
dude.
are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins.
Uh-huh.
And it helped. I feel so much better. Whew!
Wait, so Kokichi really is culprit?
No, Gunta.
No, he's lying. I think. Maybe?
As much as I kind of would like it to be, yeah, as much as I like it to be Kokichi, nah,
No,
not gonna be that
definitely not
easy.
a lie. I killed Angie. Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
Then let me ask you, culprit. How did you lock the room?
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
What different method? Yeah, Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was...
The back door.
That's it!
Mm-hmm.
The back door. That's how they made this a locked room mystery.
Yep.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used a certain tool.
Oh. Oh, okay, mine. Okay, gotcha. Okay, let's do this. Maybe be a little bit more patient with my process this time to get bigger chunks. Oh no, I should have got the yellows here. Oh well. Oh, get that, and those are gonna be just there. All right. Oh, is that a Monokuma plushie? I think so. Yep. There we go. I didn't find any this chapter, did I? Like, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, that's all those. All those. Okay. I'm gonna have to break a few, I bet. Okay, yeah, that's... Yeah, this one's gonna be messy. Alright. Sheath, the sickle. What is this third item? Sword? No, the sickle. Wait. The sickle, the sword. No, the sheath was back in the place. Was back in the lab. The sword? Does that make sense? But the sickle. I don't know. Sword?
I see it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one, but that's the only one that makes sense out of these. How did they use the sword?
Katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy.
Uh-huh.
The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock because...
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it.
Okay.
The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school bell.
Yeah, okay. So, how does that work? They use that after? I can't picture in my brain, right?
Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
Hope's Peak Academy.
Now, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell on the past.
But it's interesting that he says that because that means it is part of this past. It's not a reference. That stuff did happen.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock, right? But wait, how did they move it with the katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
The clue that might give us the answer is the layout of the area itself. It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigies hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
Oh, like the effigy swung and hit the lock or something like that?
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
To lock the room. In that case, I need to know the reason behind every step of that setup. If I do that, the way the culprit locked the room should be clear. Oh, the driving minigame? Psychic taxi. Okay, cool. Okay, here we go. I should have gotten the upgrade for this that allows you to pick up multiple words at once. At least this it will make it go faster. This is not a hard minigame to do. Just take some time. What turn to handle? The effigies, I'm guessing. Oh, that's what it's distracting us from, how that lock was closed. Okay. What turn to handle the sliding lock? Okay, gotcha. Okay, but let me see my two answers. Effigy's hand, Katana's hilt. Go. So, I still can't really picture in my head how it works, but I get where they're going with this. What was done to make the katana turn the lock? Alright, let me see my answers for this, because actually, I'm not quite sure. Oh, the katana was stopped into the effigy, okay. That's the only one that makes sense. Still can't picture how that works in my head, though. Because the katana is on the opposite side of the effigy. It's on the opposite side, so... I don't know. Manipulates to make the katana affect the lock. Making it fall, spinning it. That's the only way that makes sense to me. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I get, alright. I guess, yeah, I guess it was. So they like twirled it around, they spun it, and then they left the room. Yeah, they left the room while it was spinning, and then the hilt would eventually hit the lock, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I just wasn't sure, like, I was kind of picturing that, I was like, that seems...
The reason the culprit
roundabout?
stuck the
I don't
katana
know.
into the effigy
or elaborate, or whatever.
Was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Yeah.
Effigy spun?
So the reason why they were hung upside down, all of them were hung upside down, was to distract us from that, distract the person from that thing. Because if it was only Kaede's effigy hanging upside down, that would have been easy to figure out how they did it. Yeah, I see. Yeah,
That's
okay,
right.
gotcha.
If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, twist up the rope. Okay, gotcha. This seems so intricate.
Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way.
Okay.
And of course, the katana would spin with it.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope, and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Right. After the culprit had left.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with a katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us. Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
Yeah, the slide lock was lightly touched. A light touch would lock it back.
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Right.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick.
Right.
It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up, so we figured it was some kind of ceremony.
Right.
That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that worked on me pretty much. Yeah, I didn't
Kokichi did
really
say
think about it.
earlier that he could have picked the lock closed. I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Yeah. Just to mess with us,
Seriously?
as usual.
You fucking lied again?
You surprised? I mean, that's his whole character.
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Man, you guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
You're a compulsive liar. I think that's your whole thing, dude.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out.
Why would that work?
If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me?
Oh, okay.
And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious.
But that also would have been obvious.
Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Okay, I'll start right now.
Oh, gosh.
Alright, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
You. I can't hold it up anymore.
Oh my goodness, why are we doing this?
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Fucking hell.
Cum dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
What should we talk about now?
Whatever, just not about what was just said. Let's move on.
Must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
Right.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
After you said you like was vouching for her.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
No need, Kiba, we all remember.
That's just a waste of time.
Me? A suspect? I never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider! Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect rangers.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting...
Why did Tenko have to die?
Huh?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie's?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What the hell?
What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We gotta figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless.
I think no, but points from Tenko's case can help us solve Angie's case, so we need to review everything.
To waste our time.
It's not meaningless!
Yeah.
Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko...
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS.
And he could tell lies. He spotted every single lie in this class trial up till now, so
You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive.
True.
But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
True. He has a point.
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. But that's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously! It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. All right. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless.
All right.
The name of the curse is Death Curse.
Okay.
I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
And it would start up another class trial, so hey.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too.
Okay.
Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death.
Yep.
Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Kaido.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. But what it was, that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So what do we talk about first?
Probably.
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tencrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious. Tencrotch!
The people who attended the seance. Kirikyo, Suichi, Himiko, Kokichi, right? Kirikyo, Suichi, Kaido. Kirikyo, Suichi.
That's it!
Yeah. Kiba was out the room. That's why I
It
was
me,
stuck,
Kyo, Himiko,
paused a
and
little bit there.
Kokichi.
So those four are the culprits!
Yeah, sure, why not?
Himiko still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo.
Kyo?
He
Yep.
suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes?
And notably, Kyo was actively, like, excited to do the cage child thing seance. He's been talking about it for a while. So somebody could have easily predicted that these events, like the death of Angie, would make Kyo want to do this seance. They could have predicted that and set it all up.
If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Shoot, that makes me want to go back and see who suggested we use the dark rooms, the rooms with nothing in them. So I bet that would be a good hint. Who's the one that suggested that?
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
Oh. However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle room. The middle room is always best for stuff like this. Very well, I shall begin the preparations at once.
Oh.
She did suggest the one we use the middle room, but who suggested that we use the rooms in the first place? I can't remember. I know. I think somebody did, but I just can't. I'm not sure who.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance.
Because what I'm thinking is also, because Kokichi fell through the floorboards in one of the rooms because one of the support was missing. I'm guessing whoever the culprit is, at least for Tenko's murder, took out the supports in all 3 rooms just in case, so they could use either one depending on whichever one somebody picked. It doesn't matter. So
the empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Point of entry from outside he must be referring to.
There!
Yep.
You're talking about under the floor, right?
Yep.
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Well, here we go. Okay. Let's start the debate.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance. By crawling under the floor.
Right.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, that's definitely not it. True that with a little light you can move around under the floor, but is that possible?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
You need 5 people, including a spirit medium. Okay, let me just look at this evidence real quick to figure out which one I need to use. I'm not sure if this is right, but okay, no, it's not. Okay.
Oh no!
Yeah, one would need a light, but there was no light. We saw no light. So where do I use that exactly? Which one am I supposed to use?
By crawling under the floor.
No, not that either. I don't know which one to use. Like, I'm trying to figure out what to use for the contradiction. I understand why the light thing doesn't make sense, because we would have seen a light if that was the case. But
Then it had a light.
there we go.
That's wrong!
I'm not sure why that works, but because we would have seen the light from that hole, right?
The culprit could have used a light while under the floor.
Yeah, right. Okay. I was thinking about that one too hard, I guess.
There was a hole in the corner of the room. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
Right, okay, there we go.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
So
That took
a
me a
light
hot
was
sec.
not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Jeez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
Yeah, Kibo's talent is just pretending to be a human, as acting like a human. That's his talent. Like, he doesn't have anything extra beyond that. Except for his light function.
With the flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that.
Ah, hit, wink, wink, nod. That's they're pointing at the Clash Trial 1 of Danganronpa 2.
That'd let the culprit find her.
Yeah.
Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Yep.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
What is the relevance? Is it just for shits and giggles, or is there relevance that two things that are from other games, like from the first deaths of the other games, are being used in this trial? Is that for shits and giggles, or is there like significance to that?
The corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right?
Kokichi didn't fall through the floorboard until he stepped on it, right? That's what he said, so...
If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
Okay.
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
The thunk.
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
Nope.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not like how if those of you have watched Sherlock, like the Power of 3 episode where John and Mary get married, and the way that lock roomed a mystery of how he died. Yeah, I don't think it's that method that the person was already stabbed, but because of the pressure on the clothes or whatever, it kept them from bleeding out. Like, I don't think it's anything like that. God, I love that episode, by the way. That's a really good episode of Sherlock, the UK Sherlock. This is the point of no return, Tenko. After this point, you mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Angie speaking through you. Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over.
Yes. She was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
Yep.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
Somebody could have been underneath the floorboards when we were setting up. They could have been already waiting because the lights were still on. They could probably find their way there. They probably didn't come in during the seance. They were there before the seance. That's possible.
But she was inside Cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
Impossible.
Then she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads. Huh? Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! Want to make my golden brain tingle? Start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
Oh, Jesus. Marker stone, iron cage, white sheepdog statues.
Got killed,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Ooh, like that.
When cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tango real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
So who lifted the cage?
Jesus, Miyu.
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit.
What is good? I have no idea what's even what's going on with her. Tango is not being killed during the seance. That might not be impossible, but there's no evidence for it. There we go.
That's wrong.
That one took me some time to figure out too. I wish I could have just used the thunk thing, but the game is making me think other ways.
To kill her the moment the cage was lifted.
Yeah.
Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
Mew, you have not helped at all throughout this entire game. I think you should just stop talking.
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right here!
Oh, here we go. Okay. This is probably going to be the blade thing, and I'm probably going to die because I don't have much influence
Still
left.
wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I have a really big issue with using the right evidence, because I get where they're going. It's just I have trouble using the right one in the situation given. It's weird.
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out.
All right, Miyu, let's do this. Let's battle with our swords. Okay.
Tenko died after
Tenko's last moments.
the seance. Happened. And when the sheet that was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage. They stuck the thin blade through the gap, and that clean white sheet got stained blood red.
But the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed. She wasn't that far from the cage's gap. In which case, the person who lifted the sheet is the culprit, and that's none other than Kyo!
Oh, shit, wrong thing. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die. Yep, here we go. There goes my life. Nah, I really doing just trial and error with this trial, but it's I know the answer, but I don't know what answer the game wants.
Is this?
It's really over. No, retry. Here we go.
Can't
Okay,
let it end here.
there we go.
I'll cut through your words. Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone. And the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again?
Hold on.
How could this happen? I am so...
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
But I feel like there's so many other ways you could have proven that, but whatever. That's the way the game wanted
worries.
it. Wanted you to prove that, so whatever.
How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
Yeah, obviously. Because one, the blood spatter is up on the cage. It's like where the blood spatter is would not, that's not, I don't think that's how that would work. The blood spatter would go down, wouldn't it? Like, two, the sickle's underneath the floorboard. I don't know.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
Like the sword, like the sickle piercing from underneath her through her neck, the blood was splattered up. That's what I'm thinking. It was like, I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Mm-hmm.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living person.
Huh?
She couldn't have been killed in the cage. And she couldn't have been killed during the seance because she was in the cage, right? If she was killed, then the cloth over the cage would have been pierced, not during the seance or from below the floor. When did we conclude that it couldn't happen from below the floor? Because there was no light underneath the floor? I guess that's why, but okay, whatever.
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
What are you talking about? That's not possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit a lot of shit out of this video.
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that. Screw spirits.
Stop that now.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible. Spirits can't be culprits.
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Well,
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done it!
Wait! I know! What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage? If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
No. If there was someone else in the cage, we would have noticed.
I agree with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
From coming up from underneath the floorboards, maybe?
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
Sorta, kinda, but I'm not sure. Oh, right, okay, question. Who could have killed Tenko from inside the cage? Who could have killed Tenko from inside the cage? Okay, cool. Wasn't sure about that, but okay.
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
What did you say?
Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
The only reason why I wasn't sure about that, it was like, I'm not sure, because the thing is, suicide doesn't happen, like, thoughts about the idea of suicide being part of the case, class trials doesn't happen until, like, chapter 4 or 5, so, I don't know, but, they're messing with the similarities a bit.
We couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
She volunteered to be in the cage, and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
Oh my god.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
Again, yeah, it wasn't stabbed deep enough that she would die immediately.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
I'm just still thinking that there was just somebody underneath the floorboard before we started the seance. Like, somebody could have predicted this is what we would end up doing, so they could have pre-prepared, but I don't know.
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Yeah, there is if she felt guilty about killing
Maybe I wasn't
Angie.
too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Hey, Angie, when did you brainwash Himiko?
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
No, that's not it.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial. So she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her.
No, that's
okay,
definitely
well,
not
she
it.
probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
But what are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that. She told me.
Yeah. Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Oh, that's...
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito?
Kaito?
Seriously?
I take offense to that.
Whether or not I believe, my heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down. That's what I want to believe.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
Yeah, no, that's not for this class trial. That's for another class trial.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
A proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
Is this a prompting me that I have to lie? I don't believe Tenko would kill herself because of what she said. Okay, everyone, I'll see you guys after the seance. She said, see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart. Just because we don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that it was suicide. We shouldn't be satisfied with that, and if we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. That means we have to believe in Tenko. I'll make them all believe.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Okay.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
Suichi, what do you? Everyone thinks that Tenko committed suicide, but only because they're latching on to the easiest answer. To get out of this, I need to make them think their suicide theory wouldn't work.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
There we go. I had to lie.
Tenko couldn't have thrown the sickle under the floor.
Yeah, okay.
Because she died instantly.
Instantly?
Her death might have not been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
I'm certain of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes.
I lost a bit of
in
influence,
murder.
like health, on that because I wasn't sure. One, I wasn't sure, and two, I messed up a couple of times, like getting it ready to fire. So, yeah.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Thank you, Maki.
How could you forget that, Maki roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Shut up, Kaido. Before she changes her mind.
Excuse me?
They squeeze me.
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle.
Yeah, the lie in order to to definitely be like, no, she wouldn't commit suicide. But otherwise, it's hearsay.
She
It's
killed
like,
herself just doesn't fit, correct?
yeah. So we can get past this point.
Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Tokichi, are you gonna call us out on our lie though?
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
I think I know how she died. In my head, I think I know how it happened, but I'm gonna wait and see. We're still in the first half of this trial.
We're gonna figure it out.
This video is gonna be long.
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance?
The thunk.
If you know
the sound.
something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve this mystery.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
Oh, shoot, I missed it.
I'm more concerned about how dark it got in there.
There we go. Okay.
I agree.
That should give me back some influence, but I probably will die again because Man, I've been like messing up with some of these contradictions.
You think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
Mm-hmm. This creepy ass song. Bang. It was a bang instead of a thunk this time. That's weird.
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard. What could have fallen down?
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
Loud sound like something hitting the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark. What's the question? We heard during... What caused the sound that was heard? Oh, the loose floorboard. I'm pretty sure. This, right?
This is it!
Yeah. Alright, recovering some health.
The floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound.
Yeah.
That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
Mm-hmm.
could the floorboard have made such a loud sound though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That is true. That there would have to have been a strong impact to make that sound. But what was it? What could it possibly be?
All right then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now.
Oops, sorry, I skipped what you said. All right, we're all gonna put our heads together now. Okay, cool. Thought I missed something.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Let me just read it, just to be sure.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it.
Whoa, that was crazy. It was spinning out of control there.
It's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Heh.
Don't be stupid.
I have tons of experience with
Me and
balls.
balls are the best of friends.
Yeah, shut up, me. What would make strong enough impact to knock the floorboards loose?
So what?
Wow, this is the first time I ran out of time for this one. Alright. Alright, yeah, let's retry. Damn, I am doing a shit job in this one. I'm doing a really piss poor job this class try. I apologize. There we go.
I agree.
I used the wrong piece of evidence. Okay. The wrong... Jesus.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
The floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the cross piece?
That's the question. To solve this case, I'll need to think carefully about the crosspiece and the floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end of the loose floorboard, and the crosspiece that had been cut was on the other end of the floorboard. The unsupported part was outside the cage. Okay. Only one of the cross pieces was cut, the other two were intact. If one of them was right under Tenko, and the other was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was. What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? Come on, think. Hangman's Gambit. Okay. I'm not sure about this one either. Okay, I think I got it now. There we go. Seesaw effect.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Yeah? A seesaw?
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever.
Okay.
A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Right.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that. Unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
Okay. Next to the cage, under the floorboard, the top of the cage, between the victim and the floorboard.
I was wrong!
Okay, my bad.
That's it!
Okay.
The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down.
Okay, so yeah, this didn't happen the way I was envisioning it at all. Okay.
The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage.
But... So, wait a minute. What? But we placed the cage on top of her, then Kyo put the cloth. So, it was at the top of the cage.
Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place.
So it was placed... Huh, okay.
It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble. But the statue's weight kept it from falling over.
Okay,
Once everything was in
that wrong.
place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage.
Right.
She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in a crouched position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
I was envisioning how this happened all the wrong ways, but
Bringing
okay.
the victim to the sickle, rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox
But
idea.
when did... So, but we placed the cage on her, then Kyo placed the cloth over Tenko. When did the culprit place the sickle? Then Kyo placed the cloth? But...
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Okay.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide. Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box.
Yeah, really outside the box.
Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
Huh? Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Right.
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle room. The middle room's always best for stuff like this.
Oh yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You
Yeah.
even had instructions for it in your lab.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time.
I'm still can't imagine. Maybe I'm being stupid about this, but I don't know when the culprit would have placed the sickle, because we placed the cage over me and Kokichi. Sorry, placed the cage over Tenko, and then Kyo walked over with the cloth and put that over her, and then the statue, and then we all worked together to put the statue over everything else.
Then she waited for me to host the seance and suggested the middle room.
Did Kyo place the sickle? Is he the culprit? But that, I don't know. I don't know.
She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
That's a lie, right? Himiko did such a thing?
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
And
Wait! We don't know that, right? He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
Kill Tenko? I killed Tenko?
Himiko?
What's wrong, Himiko?
it's true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea, but does that mean that Kimiko really killed Tenko? What would something like that really happen? Something so cruel. Alright, finally reached intermission. Wow, yeah, no, I don't know if it's just me being stupid or this class trial is in a weird way kind of tough. But anyways, we will we will finish up the class trial in the next video and figure out who done it. But until then, take care.